Listen, a lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men. Right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man, and is good to you, and honors the house, and honors his wife, and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill, as long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've handled the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then, that is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
These are all my high school friends, and now we are in adulthood building another foundation from there. And we all have amazing point of views, different point of views. So especially on this topic with settling, especially when it comes to relationships, the whole viral video right now is what Tyler Perry said what black women should do. And guess what? We black. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk, girl.
Brown girl blessings, period.
Listen, Tyler Perry wants us to be poor. Barefoot and pregnant.
He don't want us to be poor. He wants us to be with the poor.
He wants us to be with the poor. So Tyler Perry basically said that women need to accept a man who treats you right. As long as he treats you well, if he's able to pay one bill, the light bill, the least expensive bill.
The light bill.
Baby, can you pay my bills? Can you pay the telephone bills? He can only pay the light bill. And Tyler Perry wants to be happy with that. And I feel like that is, while there's a lane for everybody, there's someone for someone. There is somebody for that man who can pay the light bill. It's just not me or anybody that I know. And I feel like...
Well, let's talk about why he said that, though.
Yeah, like what was the basis of him giving that? Because he feels like black women are excelling. Statistically, we are in the job market, education field. So he feels like because we have surpassed the men and the women, other peers of different races, that since the men have not caught up to that instead of it being about looking for a financial partner that is equal or above you, that you need to, as long as he's nice and can do what he can, you should accept it because love is all that matters.
Yeah. Love don't pay the bills.
It's not enough in a relationship. It's kind of immature to only think about love as a main factor of how a relationship is going to survive.
What does love got to do with it, though? Like, love is the bare minimum when you love yourself.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a word. I feel like, and I've spoken on this before, that I feel like men have a vested interest in saying things like this. Like Christina said, when you look around and the women are graduating at 3 times or whatever it is, the rate of black men, and if you want, personally me, I prefer 2 date black men. If that is your goal, then you're going to have to either sort through this very small batch of men who is either already picked or picking outside of your race, or you have to find men who are doing less than you and making less. But when men have a best interest in doing that is because it's much easier for you to stop your search and just look and grab somebody than it is for them to find the avenues to get to where you are. They actually gain something by women believing in this ideology that you need to settle for whatever you can get or be happy with a man who can just make you happy. But to be honest, for me, the prerequisite to even getting to know you, to even looking your way, the prerequisite is that you have a stable life. It's not an add-on, and that's how they want you to push the thought, is that like that you start with, he's a nice man and he might not look how you want it, his teeth might be all on top of each other, and but he's a nice man first. But for me, that's not first. I don't know if you're nice, because if it's not looking how I want it to look, and if that money ain't folding the way I want it to fold, I would never know.
Yeah.
So why are black women excelling so much quicker?
I think I'm sure there's studies to actually go into that, but just from like my base level, I think it's because women in our culture have for so long had to be the backbone of so many families that we just, and even when we're raised to be able to cook, to be able to clean, to be able to juggle a household, and we wear so many hats. starting as kids when our brothers literally just go to basketball practice and come home. So they're not taught to even be able to manage these things. So it's easier for us to get to college and be able to take 18 credit hours and graduate in 4 years because we've been juggling
micromanaging
for a long time. But this is their first time doing it. So they get to college their first year and flunk out because they've literally never had to.
Yeah.
So we're just trained from so much younger to do it. And then we have this cultural background of women, because of, the war on drugs and all of those things, of women having to just wake up and
be the singular parent.
And lead their whole family. That I think at this point, like we were talking about earlier, it's in our DNA to succeed.
Yeah.
It's in our DNA, and it may not be ingrained in theirs the same way.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that. Going back to what Tyler Perry said, I think it's bigger than just they under you, because we're not saying, okay, you make $100,000 a year and he makes $80,000 a year, and that's such a big difference. That's not. He's not saying that. He's saying you make $100K and he makes $30K.
Yeah,
because saying someone, if he can only pay a light bill, that is a significant pay difference. You are not telling women to, okay, he make a little less than you is good. You're saying there is a difference in class.
Yeah.
Ooh. And mindset though.
Yeah, you gotta
understand,
raised
different
if
at that
you
point.
can only, if you're given the example of only paying, like, he didn't even go 50-50.
We jumped to one bill.
Yeah, he said he's doing.
And how are you a good man like
his
that though?
Best. Well, we're not gonna be in the same room
as
those people. So you're telling me to leave where I am
to go
and to go. That's crazy. So to answer your question, your question, which is, why do you feel like there is such a difference? Okay. One, let's look at the home. There aren't many nuclear homes. Us sitting here, everyone had pretty much at some point a nuclear home, whether your parents are still together, divorced or not, right? But most homes are single parented, and it's by a woman. And if you have a brother or a sister, you have a clear example of how differently boys and girls are treated when being raised in the house. The girl is given more responsibility at a younger age. I've seen it with my nieces and nephews. Let's give 2 or 3 an example. A 3-year-old girl will play by herself, is potty trained, is on a schedule, way more sufficient. But if a little boy, they will say, well, he's a boy. Boys learn slower than girls. It's embedded in us as gender roles at a young age that boys will be boys and they learn slower and all these things, and it's more successful. And a lot of women are more prone to want a son, and so they get a son,
and that's a program.
And they treat them like they're the man of the house. So if you're a single woman, you're telling this young 12-year-old he's the man of the house, but there's no responsibility that's given to him other than maybe taking out the trash. So men grow up feeling like they're a man, but with no responsibility.
Being coddled though, you can't coddle them.
Not showing up in any type of way. They're a man despite not being able to provide for you. They're a man despite not being able to protect you. They're a man despite having broken homes and 4-5 kids and 4-5 baby mamas. They're a good man despite that, just because they were born with male parts.
Yep.
And I think, I do have a question for you. As someone who dates women though, because we talked about this before, like, you still have that same viewpoint of like, I'm not dating somebody who can't do nothing neither. This same topic, how do you interpret this? Or like, how do you apply this to like?
I wanted to jump in after I got all your opinion.
So I want to get some more opinions, and then I was like,
oh, okay, go ahead.
So with this whole ideology, when it comes to like settling for the bare minimum just to have somebody sleeping next to you is like insane to me. And most people are just operating from lack. So they will settle for just anything because they're afraid of being alone. So we have to overcome this fear of loneliness, first of all. And why are we not telling men to rise up to their highest self? Why do they want women to stoop low? Put somebody on our back and carry you, be a piggyback rider?
I think it's because in every aspect, like if you look generation to generation, going back to slavery, in every aspect, they've generally failed at doing that. Like they could not save us from slavery. A woman had to do that.
Come on here.
They could not. when they went to the war, women had to take care of the home, step in. When they came home, they was on drugs, going to jail. Women had to then step in. So in every generation, they've essentially failed at doing it. So I think at this point, people are just so tired of waiting for them to be able to, and obviously I'm speaking very generally. I don't have this experience. So I want to say this very clearly.
Yeah,
like people,
same.
We know great men. Like,
Yeah,
We
when
know
we
for
speak
sure.
this
So
topic-
we not male bashing.
Yeah.
We know very.
I don't have this experience with men either.
Yeah.
The men that I date show up for me in every aspect that they
Correct.
possibly can. But and the men that I keep as friends show up for
Yes.
their sisters and their girlfriends and their wives in that way. So I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying that the vast majority, the men who are able to do that and are able to succeed, they are the minority.
We speaking on the men that Tyler
Exactly.
Perry was speaking
Yes.
for.
But
Not-
I
yeah,
did,
not
I
mine.
did the minority though, because I think
Statistically, yes.
Statistically,
So like
yeah.
that's a fact. Statistically, men who there are less men like across, and we could pull the statistics. I don't know what the statistic is, but when you look at statistics, there are less men who have degrees than there are women who have degrees. Period.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So there are less men. Now, granted, there is a wage gap just in general,
Right.
but there are less men who are making over $50,000 than there are men who are making under. Like that's just a statistical fact.
Okay, so let's use that, because maybe that whole interview kind of paints a bigger picture, but I think I think the part that I would assume that was talked about in this interview is that there's only a certain amount of men that are meeting the standards that 90% of black women want,
Yes.
and so they're getting the pick of the litter, right?
Yes.
So that's the issue. That's really the issue. So it's like if old guy is getting, like I said, the pick of the litter for black women, why would he want to settle? You know, why would he want to settle?
But I think the reality is the men who are those top guys, they genuinely don't have to, because there are enough black women who are succeeding so that they don't have to settle.
Yeah.
So the same way that we have. So
no,
let's
I mean
just-
settle as in one.
But
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have to. You don't have to.
They don't have to, and also
yes, but we're also black women are also the least married, the least like
But
black
I
women.
think all those
But you
statistics
have to
of men
think,
who are not.
it's different.
they
A
all tie
woman
in.
who is educated, for to be a woman, our currency is different. When you get into that, you have to understand the currency of a man and the currency of a woman is different. Nobody cares as a woman that you have 15 degrees. Nobody cares how successful you are. A millionaire would date a girl at McDonald's as long as she was bad.
If he,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Because women's currency is their physical and
Yes,
not their
they're
intelligence
really-
or what they bring to the table.
Right, because that's what all men care about. They just care about your looks.
Yes, that's kind of my point. So all these women who are making more money but don't have that physical aspect that the top people
Go
they
where
want
the love
have.
is.
That's-
Y'all not gonna
That's
agree
what
with
he's
me.
saying.
No.
So he's
No,
basically saying,
he's
I
not
don't mean
saying
the love broke. I mean other races.
Yeah,
Yes.
go where the men who
Black
your
women
standards
gotta
are.
listen.
They gotta
Expand
let
our
it go.
mind.
You
We
gotta let it
all
go.
prefer who like men, black men, right? But you have to go where the love is. It's not our job to
Say
don't
anybody.
cancel me, preserve the race.
Yes.
Because these
cancel
men
me.
is spreading their seed
In every
low
way they
and
can
wide.
find, baby.
And guess what? They're still not present in those other homes that are other races. It's not like that. Those women aren't getting the top pick either. You can look at athletes. I hate when they show athletes with their wife who's not black and they're like this. It's a lot of black athletes and entrepreneurs and all that who are married to black women. So let's cancel that
Most
narrative.
black men, period, are married to black women.
Let's be clear. There are interracial couples, but come on, like, you can date who you want to date, but black women need to get ahead of that.
Yeah.
You can date who you want to date. You do not have to stay within your racial group. Love is love. This is like skin deep. And yes, you can find people and have connections with people that are a different race than you. I think that's the big problem. Black women are swimming in a small pond when we have a whole ocean
Literally,
of men.
a ocean.
Like, broaden your horizons. Step out of your comfort zone. I don't even want to be in a room with people that only look like me.
Yes, exactly.
No, I
Not
can
all the
say
time.
It makes sense when I say it out loud, but putting it into practice, baby.
I got a question because Tyler was really speaking on marriage. So what would be the benefit of marriage for women if they get into that type of dynamic with a man that only pays the light bill?
The
Nothing.
only benefit would be having a man around.
Period.
But that
But for
comes
some
with
people, that is a
benefits.
lot.
Yeah, it comes with this.
What's the benefit?
What's the
But
benefit?
protection would probably be the biggest.
You
benefit.
cannot
You
protect
better
me
get
if
your
the light bill- if the light bill
CCW.
get cut off,
That's
what
not
happens?
true.
Women, take a self-defense class, get some alarms,
That
get a ring
is
camera, get
But
a
the thing
No,
is,
you
they
can't
are
compare.
look. The thing is, they protecting us from other men.
Correct.
That's crazy when we really think about it. So men are really be dangerous though. So what if I'm sleeping with a dangerous person too?
What if
Because
he's
that's
the
domestic,
danger?
right? What's the danger?
The most dangerous thing to a woman is a man.
Literally.
Correct.
The most women who are,
And you could be sleeping with the
and he could be, and you won't know until he wake up and knock the daylights out your ass.
because the domestic violence be there, but we just ignore that fact and that statistic right there in front of us. Like,
And when you look at a situation of domestic violence, and you date a man who can only afford the light bill, but you can afford the mortgage.
Because what
They
if you
start
lose
going
your
out.
job?
Right,
What
right.
if you look?
What if you get sick? What if you get pregnant and your pregnancy's rough?
I mean,
What if your kids get sick and listen, we already know how a lot of dudes are with their kids. What happens when you can't provide for the whole family? And that's why she was saying we can at least do equally yoked. You don't have to, and I think this is the reality for most people, and this is statistically the reality. Most people are gonna date in their class and marry in their class.
Facts.
If we are both making the same amount, right, or roughly, because like you said, 100,000 to 80,000, there really is not a difference.
There's not a big difference.
Home with. So if that's what you're working with, and we're both contributing to the household. If somebody falls off,
Right.
the other person has the ability to pick up a little bit of slack.
Correct.
But if you're dating somebody who cannot even afford to contribute to the household, and I'm not saying like it's a situation where he makes so much more, like I'm making 80,000, he making 200,000. And he's choosing to provide for the household. If that man died today, with my 80,000, I can still provide something for myself. You know, but if you're married to somebody who can literally only afford the light bill, and you die today, what would your kids have?
Yeah. That's
It is
that's
no,
a big
and that
component
goes
when
back
you
to your
have
question.
children.
There really is no benefit aside from having somebody around, because now dating, that's one thing. It kind of really, if you're not dating to be married and you just want to be around somebody, and you just want to kick in, you want to have you a good time, then it kind of really don't matter. But if you are married and you have a family, it does matter, because if you die today and your spouse cannot afford the home that y'all live in, your kids will have nowhere to go. And you set yourself up, you set your kids up for failure by marrying and procreating with a man who can't provide for them. Because you can't guarantee that your time is not fine. Your time is fine.
Yeah.
I was gonna say marriage is also a business in a way.
Talk about it.
For
Talk about
sure.
it. What is the benefit like for women? Like, I know it is a business transaction, but most people just get married for love, and they don't understand that it's a business.
It's not a business if it's for love. I think
Yeah.
love
That's
is
a
like
different
something
thing.
that will fade. I'm gonna be honest. You will be in and out of love with your partner.
Exactly.
I think
Everyday
it's more important to like the person you married than to be in love with them. Like doesn't go away. If you like them as a person,
I could choose. I might
know
not
what I'm
love you
saying?
today, but I might wake up next week and love you.
you get what I'm saying?
'Cause I
But
still
like you, you're a good person. I feel like we have to look at words. Words have meaning. Partner.
Yes.
He's not my partner if he cannot provide and help.
Yes.
A light bill. So what? If he can only afford the light bill, is he also the babysitter?
Right.
Like
the maid.
What else?
Yeah.
What else
Is he
you
cook?
do?
If I'm making the money, I don't expect to cook. I don't
same
expect
way
to be
men- the same way
cleaning.
men do
Cleaning.
that.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's why the whole. Because then people will say, well, what about a woman who can only pay a light bill? Well, what's that? But guess what? Most women who are housewives and not kept women, because it's two different things. A kept woman
She
is a
ain't
woman
do
who is
nothing.
reaping the benefits of her man's money. Baby, we can hire somebody to do that. You are reaping the benefits of what I have provided for us. That's a kept woman. A housewife is earning her keep.
She is.
You cleaning, you
She's-
cooking, you
that's a
taking
job.
care. You are a live-in nanny.
Yes.
No
a
offense.
slave, low key.
You know, I don't know about
I don't know about slave, but they
you
didn't get paid. But if you're a housewife, like think about housewives. Let me take it back a little bit from an educational standpoint. The whole feminism movement, right? Black women had no part in that. We have never benefited from being able to have a man work and provide for us. We was nannies, we was servants.
Black
we were
women always been
domestic.
working.
We always been
We-
working.
we ain't never
We did
not work.
come up with that shit. This is what happened when black women start being able to get educated. We ran towards that. Then our counterparts, other women, they had to start raising their own kids because the nanny gone. She going to school.
She's supposed to be a nurse.
So now you at home with these kids and you gotta clean up yourself and you gotta raise your own kids and you like, hell no, I want to go to work, because their men start making them feel like you're just a housewife.
Yeah.
You do nothing. So they said, okay, I want to go get a job.
And that mentality persists.
We didn't come up with this feminist shit. That's why the whole city girls movement is a thing, because not black women, like, we've been working our whole existence.
Yeah.
We want to reap the benefits of stuff too.
Black women be the providers, the leaders, the protectors.
That's why that 1% of men men who are successful do have the pick of the litter, because women are saying, he can take care of me, he can take care of her, as long as my stuff paid, we can share them, because they're tired. And I'm not saying that works for everybody, but if you don't mind, because I know women who are successful and their child's father or husband, whatever, is watching the kids. He is the babysitter. If that worked for you, that worked for you. But if you can hire somebody, if you can afford it.
So that's a trade-off then. That's a trade-off some women will want. Yeah. So is it necessarily settling?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
I don't think I would say settling.
If you come home and the laundry's done,
you got all your kick your feet back. Okay.
Right. So the roles are about to get reversed, flipped up, upside down. So a household,
but then you still got ego. But then remove ego.
Oh, you know what? I heard that when men aren't where they want to be financially, they are very good partners.
Yes, it's ego.
They're abusive. They're
cheating,
mean to be around.
Yes.
Because it's like she said, it's that ego is hurt because you've grown your whole life. Man is strong. Man make money. Man provide. Man protect.
But you the house
and you vacuuming and watching The View.
Yes, but he has to transform his mind to know his work.
Are men doing the work to do that?
They're not. Right. So that's like the conclusion, though.
That more work needs to be done.
That we should. That's what I think men need to focus on, healing themselves, healing their inner child, focus on emotional intelligence. Don't get into romance because you're broke. Like romance is honestly a privilege. It's not a purpose.
Say it again.
It's a privilege to even date.
And that don't even just go towards men. It's also women.
Everybody.
If you're not where you want to be, because Tyler Perry, like I said, words have meaning and are powerful. Tyler Perry said, but he's trying. But if he's
trying yourself.
When you're trying, if you're trying, at what point are you producing?
Yeah.
At what point is the fruit? Because I saw a lot of people stitching the video and they're like, well, my husband's a lawyer now and he was a clerk of this, whatever, clerk of courts when I met him. When you met that man, he had a plan.
Yes.
He was trying and actively working towards it.
Yes.
You saw the production.
Yes.
You saw the steps he was taking. That's not the men he's talking about.
Right.
No. He's talking about
staying
the men
stagnant,
who have tried and tried and
complaining, making excuses.
And it's just like, okay, those are not the same kind of men. I definitely think you can take a chance on a man who has a plan and is actively working towards something. Especially when we're in our upper 20s, heading to our 30s. There are definitely people who are pivoting their whole careers and going back to school. If I met a man today and he's like, I'm going to medical school and my first year is right now, and I'm not gonna be a doctor until I'm 36. Okay.
Yep.
I might be able to still keep doing what I'm paying the bills right now.
Yep.
I might still be able to support us and support what we're doing because you have a plan that you have put into action.
But I feel like you would get tired of that.
When he gets to that point,
a woman loves a planner.
Yeah.
A woman loves somebody who comes to them and says, A, B, C, D. This is what it's gonna be.
Okay,
those are men who, when they get there, he turns around and says, "You sit down."
Yep.
He turns around but people always do that. No, they don't. But the idea is that I supported us while you were on your way. Mm-hmm. Now I'm not supporting you while you're trying to be on your way to being a rapper.
Okay, listen. Wait. Okay, when you're dating currently, are you getting provided for?
Yes.
Okay, so it's gonna be a hard switch up. If you meet this man, he's great, and he's like, pay for everything while I'm in mess. It's gonna be a hard
that would be crazy
up.
Because if I wasn't around, how were you gonna pay for it? No, let's create a plan. If we're that serious in the relationship, if you say, okay, I live here and my rent is $1,700, and I'm like, okay, I live here and my rent is $1,900. Collectively, we can afford something bigger. But okay, let's find something that's in the middle, because it's only going to be half. You in school, this is what you can afford. This is what I can afford. Okay, let's find something in the middle of that. Mm-hmm. If I was paying,
because I was already paying $1,900, I might just pay the $1,700. I was already paying more.
Yes, but now we can find a place together. We're only both paying half of that. You got to know what type of person you got. Mm-hmm. But I don't ever want somebody who looking for a handout to be taken care of, because I'm not.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying he wants the days paid. Like
that's crazy.
We would never get there.
That's crazy.
I don't even bring my wallet.
Because how was you gonna live if you didn't know me? Yeah. You was still gonna have to survive.
That's what women don't get. I'm not bringing my wallet to the date because if you took me out tonight or not, I was going to dinner.
Okay.
That goes back to the point. It's like, yes, even though he has the money, he still has to provide for y'all in some way.
No, we're not saying provide. We're saying I can meet you in the middle if you have a plan, because this ain't gonna be forever. You working to be a doctor. We putting our heads together. I truly believe It's nothing wrong with saying a man got it. A man want to come in and say, I'm taking care of everything, but you know what? I'm not going to be using all of my money to go shop and blow it, because at any moment it could switch.
Yes.
Everybody has peaks and valleys in life and success. Nobody ever has this. It's gonna pivot. I need to be prepared at any time if you drop the ball, but that's only with your partner. A lot of women, the whole word closure, women always keep going back in relationship because they feel like they got cheated from something. They gave too much.
They played themselves. Yeah, they gave too much. Don't overgive.
They left and they felt like, damn, I put in all this time. I didn't get nothing. So
I
they go back.
I built him up.
Exactly. But when you have a partner, that's why you gotta know who you with. When you have a partner, y'all going up together because y'all supposed to be feeding off each other, building off of each other. Now, if he gets to a point where he can handle it, great, handle it. I don't want to do nothing, but don't ever think I'm not coming nowhere empty-handed. As a person, it has nothing to do with gender. You should never want to show up empty-handed.
Yes.
Like anything in life could happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
man could drop dead today.
Yeah.
Like you never, and I feel like, because I get what you're saying, that a lot of women, like you were saying, a man show up and he take care of everything, and now you then quit your job altogether and y'all not even married.
That's the worst thing you could do.
No,
why would you give up financial independency?
Never. You never. And the same thing goes for men. It's like, why would you? But like I said, you do, as a man, you do gain from having a woman around.
Oh, for sure.
And if you get
the right woman,
around,
some women are leeches. Yeah. I've watched videos of these girls who be saying he got to do all this, and it's the girl that look like she work at a call center. That's no shade to anybody that work at a call center, but it's like, baby, like, you not even, like, it's not giving what it should give for you to even request that.
And I feel like, now this might be a little head ass to me, I feel like you're gonna agree with me, is that like, and I've explained this to men too, that I I feel like part of what I'm bringing to you is the fact that I take care of myself.
Facts.
It is the fact that I every time you see me, I'm looking good.
And
that's a benefit to you.
The upkeep, let's talk about it.
It's a benefit for the average man.
Yeah, for an average man, that is a benefit to you. You get to show up with me.
Literally, that's a prize.
It's a privilege, and because even like going back to saying it was a privilege, like I got to a bad car accident a few years ago. I didn't have a car for 4 months. I've never, as an adult, not had a car.
Right.
I did not talk to a man for a single second too. Because it's like, because I know what I require of men, and I would never look at no man who would say, baby, I got into a car accident 4 months ago and I don't got no car right now.
Hold on.
I wouldn't even do it. So I sat down. I sat down until, and now granted, it wasn't a financial issue. It was the police was fucking my shit up issue. Yeah. But I sat down and had no problem with that, because I cannot even bring to you what I require. And that's where, like you said, a lot of women mess up with that space. Is like, I'm asking for a man to pay my rent, pay my car note, take care of kids. That's not his. But you couldn't pay your rent and your fridge was empty when you met that man.
Yeah.
So you're not even equally yoked. I took the man to come take care of me because I was taken care of when he met me. Mm-hmm. So no, you don't get to come into my life and get all of me, and I gotta pay to get my hair done, pay to get my nails done, and get my toes done, and be around. Take time from my friends and family and be around you, and all I get from you is some dick and a fucking
headache. That's
like,
the dick and a
headache.
If that's all y'all feel like the benefit is you. But the man got to bring, because you know that's the biggest argument.
But it depends on the woman.
But you know the value of a woman.
You know the value, but it depends on the woman. Let's be honest. A lot of women in this generation don't have anything. Let's be real. We all know the girls. It's the music. The music has changed the culture. You got to think most of these female rappers, and I support female rap, but these are hood chicks. These are project girls who did not have nothing. They have to scam. They have to. Yeah. They are crawling their way out of a whole different lifestyle. Yeah. They literally, when they saying scam her, because they don't have nothing. They gotta do that. If that's not your situation, come on now. If that's not your situation, build yourself up. If you don't want to date somebody who don't have anything, why do you feel comfortable dating and you don't have anything?
Exactly.
Put Sam, my pussy good. That's so plain.
Every girl got a pussy back.
Okay,
right. And they all good to them.
That is very popular, because I feel like I date very pretty looking women, and a lot of them really do base their value off of
their looks
solely. Yes,
and it's sad.
And I feel like they don't need to bring anything else,
like
to
mentally
me.
stimulation.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, and
I feel like it is, and that's why I feel like we do deserve men who do provide and protect all those things, because I do bring everything. Like, I'm a gorgeous woman, but I was hilarious before I looked like this.
Literally.
I was very smart before I had a degree.
Yeah.
I was stylish before you met me.
And then the woman's intuition too.
Yeah, like I offer you something aside from how I look, and there are like people who don't have no personality at all. You just pretty, you're like watch a paint dry.
Yeah,
that's not an fade. And if you, and I will say this, and this goes for anybody, women or men. Women don't really date for looks, so I guess it don't really apply to women. But if you are trying to attract a man based purely on physical, then that means that man is only stimulated by
the flesh.
But you don't look like
the
that
flesh. He will. There's always going to be somebody better looking than you. Let's be honest. So if you are looking to attract only based on looks, you are going to lose him the same way, because as soon as somebody else comes along that he deems more beautiful or more attractive, he's out.
Yeah, because he's
easy. You understand?
He was never invested in you, the being.
Now, we're not going to be in denial and say that physical attraction isn't important. Of course it is. But when you are purely dating based off physicality, you can never keep that person.
Exactly.
Anything could happen. It was a case I read about where a woman got disfigured in her, like from an explosion, acid or something, and her husband stayed with her. That is rare.
Yes. When you know that statistically, if a woman gets cancer, that man is more likely to
look how many women gain weight in their relationship. The man starts cheating, or have kids, body not the same, anything. Because that man, it was never your personality. It was strictly physical. Who's the James Bond actor, or I don't know, 007? He's like a big white actor. He's been
I know you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
And his wife, they always show pictures of him and his wife. They've been together like 20 years. She was like a model, very skinny. She's in her 50s, 60s. She's heavier now, and they be like, look at him. He's still with her.
He loved that lady.
He loves her. Like that's his partner. This woman probably was down for him when he had nothing, and because he still looks good, his looks are based on his job. He's an actor. He has to say that.
That lady is at home. She can look
like
she went
up. She can eat. When you see a woman gaining weight, baby, she's eating. She's taking care of. She's not starving. She's good. She's good.
So, what's the conclusion? Like, how can we uplift our black men to rise up to their highest potential?
Self-love.
No, you know what I was gonna say? I was gonna ask y'all that actually, because it's like y'all was saying y'all would like the men to meet you where it's like they did the work, but it's like why are the black women doing? I feel like this is a movement for black women. They're doing the work, and it's like, why aren't the men on this same movement?
Exactly. Because the stigmas in our community. A lot of black women are going to therapy. They're writing, they're journaling.
Yes, we learn about self-love. Our mothers didn't know about self-love.
No.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say that to answer Tara's question, I don't think it's on women to encourage men to be better.
What's the solution?
It's on the men who have done the work. It's on the men to reach back and to build that. That is while we are one community as black people, being a man is a life that I can never understand. I'm not a part of that community.
Right.
It is on the men who have done the work to reach back and to pull those men to where they need to be, and to be encouraging, because like you said, it's all about perception. We watched our mothers go through whatever they went through, and we learned from that, whereas men watched their mothers go through what they went through, and they admired that she was resilient through it, instead of saying that man should have my mother.
Right. We always blaming a single mother for taking responsibility.
It's like you blame the single mother. You blame the woman who stayed and not the man who
ran off.
Like,
you feel me?
I've seen so many podcasters say like, these single mother, like, wait, hold on. Women need to make better decisions who they let get them pregnant.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
They need to make better decisions about who they
impregnate and like
who they make decisions.
And how they decision make. Your child should be at the forefront of your life, period. There's people who didn't want their kids, and that's another topic for another day. But I think that we need men who have done the work to hold other men accountable.
Okay, so what's the solution?
It
starts in the raising.
Yeah, and what's the solution for black women then?
I would say the solution is honestly to abandon these thoughts and abandon these men who are not rising.
Okay, I was gonna jump on that. Yeah. Because it's the same, but it's never gonna happen. You know why I say that? Listen.
Because enough women don't.
No, listen. This is why I say this. Okay, you know how they say, why do men judge women based on body count? And they're like, we do the same. We don't want men with high body count.
But at the end of the day, they still gonna date
Accept
those
it.
men. They
Still
always
accept
say,
it.
"Oh, we gonna start doing that to y'all," and they never do it.
Exactly.
And that's gonna be the
Yep.
same thing that happens here. They gonna say, "You know what? We're not dating no men with trauma no more. Guess what we gonna have? All these women having babies with men." And so it's like,
but it goes back.
It really
to
has to be.
love. You don't love yourself enough to be alone and really commit.
I was gonna
to
say
abandonment.
that's the thing too. Wanting companionship is 100% normal. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But a lot of women, let's be real, you're doing the work in every sector. But when it comes to who you pick as a spouse, but let's take it deeper. In our community, there is what's considered cool. There are a lot of good black men. There are a lot of good black. They're considered corny. But why are they corny? Every woman, I don't care if she college educated from a suburb, you want like a Tupac, like you want like their view of what is cool, because what has been taught to us is this hyper masculine, over aggressive black man is the only type. We all know a lot of good guys, but he was corny.
We went to Twinsburg.
Yeah, we went to Twinsburg.
he was playing.
He was playing. He was corny. He didn't have enough edge. Like, girl, you ain't never been in the hood, but all the dudes you date, like
That
we
treat you
all
bad.
have to, we all have to change what we want. It's the same for men. You want a good girl, but you want her to be able to fuck you like a porn star. Well, the only way she good at sex is if she's had a lot of it.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Both our perception of what a woman is and what a man is when in the black community is different. Y'all know a lot of good dudes, but I was watching something that said in a relationship is never equally yoked. One person cares more than the other or likes the person more, and you rather be the admirer. Because if you're the admired, you're never really into the person that you're with. But if you're the admirer, you feel lucky to be with them.
Yeah.
You're happy.
Now you call him a narcissist.
You are who you want to be with. But if you're the so a lot of women, they prefer to be with the man that they admire, because we all
Instead of the
have
one who admire me, honor me,
Exactly.
worship me. You feel me?
because you're not that into. Everybody has had it, or even girls. The girl that's super into you, or a guy that's super into you, but you're not really into them. Everything they do is annoying. Oh, why they calling me so much? Why they too thirsty? Like, I don't like them like that.
Right.
But the person you feel like that about, but maybe don't give you that much attention, they could call you 100 times a day. You would be so happy. So it's hard to say.
But the person that you feel that way about isn't gonna do that to you. Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
Listen. Almost every, I ask my line sister this, I ask all my friends this, and I'm gonna ask y'all this: Do y'all like assholes? Do y'all like assholes more?
Never.
And guess what, y'all? Guess what?
They like-
This is yes. They always say no. They always say no. Every woman I've asked this, they say no. And for someone who dates women, I tell you that's a lie. It's a lie. No, y'all don't.
Right, they don't. It's unfortunate.
And you know what? I've only tried the nice routine with one person because
My routine.
yeah, it's
fake it.
You gotta be mean to
It's not
motherfuckers.
I know how to be charismatic and stuff when I need to be. I know what people like, even though y'all said no. I've done the nice routine with one person, and guess what? I had one date, and that was my favorite one.
Do you know why that
You
is?
have to tell me your life.
But do you know
Never
why
gotta
that
call
is? But do you know why that is? Because, and this is our mother's fault. When you're a little girl and a boy is mean to you in school, the first thing your mother said to you, he's mean to you because he likes you. So you internalize that and you think, okay, he was into me and then I must have did something because he's not that into me no more. So, but he likes me. He's ignoring me because he likes me. We're just playing a game. He told me his grandma died last year. He's going through it right now. His baby mama is annoying. Instead of thinking, if someone likes me, they're gonna show it.
Yes.
Like, stop making excuses for people. And really, it's a self-reflection. If you like somebody that's kind of mean to you, it's because you feel like you deserve that.
Yeah.
You really don't love yourself.
You don't love yourself.
It's always going to go back to self. And that's the thing. People put out how they feel about themselves in all aspects of everything. Like any situation you could think of. And I always say how people treat you has nothing to do with you. It's always about how they feel about themselves. And if a person treats you bad, they likely probably don't love themselves either. Exactly. Because if you genuinely loved yourself and you were kind to yourself, you would never want to make people feel bad about themselves. You would never want to purposely hurt people or harm people. So there's something broken in you that even allows you to act in that way. But people have to be willing, like, if you love yourself, but like I was saying, I really like sweet dudes because I'm sweet to myself.
Yeah. I was about to say, I hate when I see a girl like put a post up like, I really want some flowers. Why don't you buy yourself
Go
flowers? Because men are just like you done did your research. A man that's interested in you is studying your social media.
Yes.
If this man always see you every week with flowers, he's gonna know I have to come to her with flowers.
Right.
If you keep yourself up,
He know.
I like nice dudes, but I've honestly been treated nice. I haven't had nobody dog me out, cuss me.
Yeah,
I've never
you
even
have
been
to
with
say
somebody.
that.
You know what I'm saying? I've never even been with somebody
I
that's
like
called
that.
me out my name right hand of God, and it's because y'all know me since high school. I've
Right,
always
we gotta finish
carried
this
myself.
on TikTok because let's wrap up. Say your Instagram.
All right, y'all. My Instagram is at the original Dream Girl, and my TikTok is Lex Talk Too Much. Come join us. Oh,
Damn! I told you. Literally.
And that's all, folks.
No, we
Sarah, just put them on the video.
Y'all look like assholes. I'm telling you.